Your browser has blocked your screen. What does that mean? Hi, everybody. We are live. And I am Lainey Sevante Wolkin, and I go by Sevante. And I am here with the amazing Linda McBee. We have an amazing show for you tonight. And, well, I like to say we have an amazing show every week, but particularly tonight, because we have Linda here. And I'm so excited. There's been so much going on, and I am recovering. I had the most amazing weekend at Illuminate festivals and meeting, Linda, hundreds and hundreds of people who just are just so excited about caring about their body through food and wanting to improve their relationship with food and seeking the wisdom of how to be intuitive food therapists. And it's exhilarating. And then I just could sleep for a week. So I'll have to do that next week. This week I got a lot to do. But in any case, it was a great weekend. And you can really appreciate it because not only are you going to share about your life and your food technologies, but you've been very much in our world lately because you just took IFT, Intuitive Food Therapy Level 1, moving on to Level 2, and you really, I just am so excited having you part of the Cherries because you have such a command and a passion for how to heal the body temple, how to nourish the body temple through nature and through food. So why don't we, I know we have a lot of things to talk about tonight, but why don't we just give people who are here and coming on a little bit about you and a brief kind of background of your story, and then we can maybe, we can jump right into what we're here tonight to talk about. And then I have a few, I know you might have an offer, and I got a good announcements. So take it away, Miss Linda. Who is Linda McBee?
Well, it's kind of funny because I started on this food journey when I was in my super early teens and began to really be fascinated with food and how it made me feel way before like doctors and people would tell me later. So it's quite interesting, that journey, but it's been fun. And it's been really fun lately in the last couple years between meeting you and learning about the Food Healing Oracle deck, and then the opportunity to start the journey on the intuitive food therapy, as well as coming across a product that's a lassenger that has amazing products just like we study in the Food Healing Oracle deck. And partnering with some doctors now that to be a functional medicine coach and actually bring doctors in that want to help people go alternative. So that's not my background to help people get off medications, but I've partnered with some who can. And that was critical in those pieces when someone wanted to do that. So that's a little bit of a nutshell. And
I was telling somebody this morning in yoga, I said, you should really watch the show tonight. I'm going to have somebody on. She's fantastic. She's coming to Costa Rica. All get to know her. But also, we were talking about Lyme disease, and I just can't believe, because I've been in areas where it's not as prevalent. But I have lived in places, and I feel now fortunate that I never got it because I am a big hiker. But you had Lyme disease. And when you say you don't have it anymore, or once you have it, you always have it, or maybe just tell, not, just kind of a thumbnail version of it, because I know it can wreak absolute damage on some people. Some people might have a milder version. I have someone who I know is completely debilitated, going from hospital to hospital, doctor to doctor. No one knows what's wrong with them. So I know it's a little scary. It's a little scary. So I just like for you to say that you found something that made you feel better. Maybe just tell your story a little bit.
Sure. So, and I'm not a doctor, and I'm not here giving medical advice.
Yeah, yes. Thank you for educating.
Entertainment. Entertainment. I am a mental health therapist, though, and that's what my degree is in. So I have a little bit of knowledge But I started out with autoimmune issues when I was in my teens, and they snowballed. And I say that because what I as I've begun to educate more and more, especially about Lyme, is it's autoimmune issues that just snowball, and it begins to build on itself and build on itself. And Lyme is a little bit like speed in that um, it can trigger at a stressor or a trauma after being bit. And that I did not know until a couple years ago. And it is interesting because it's so dynamic in that there's so many different layers and so many doctors that specialize in Lyme. They tend to not always look at all of them. And it is a parasite. You don't necessarily ever get rid of it, but I've learned how to manage. And I did find something that, so just to tell you a little bit more about my story, just briefly, and please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to share in way more detail. But so a good friend of mine who is a personal trainer actually noticed that about every 3 or 4 months, I was finding myself at the doctor's being put on an antibiotic. And so what that would do was that little bit, that 7-10 day antibiotic would throw the Lyme into remission for about 3 or 4 months. And then it would resurface in something else, somewhere else in my body that would create an infection. So if you have that going on, be aware that that could be some additional things.
Interesting. Oh.
And it could be Lyme that you might be dealing with and not even know it, like I did. And that was happening for me over about a 2-year period, about every 3 or 4 months. And I'm not somebody who likes to go to the doctors or like to be put on antibiotics. So this friend then recommended a Lyme doctor. He did not tell me I had Lyme. He just said, I think this doctor might be beneficial, at least to begin to get some analysis, because also with Lyme disease, it's hard to test. So if you've just had an antibiotic and you go in to test, it could be dormant. And so it could come back negative. Or, so there's a lot of variables in the test that they have, and they are very expensive. So it's so intricate and deep as far as just everything involved. And there's many different levels, and there's, I can't even think of all of them off the top of my head.
No, and you don't have to. I mean, I let me just take it from where you were to then to when you discovered this food technology. Let's just bring it up close, bring it forward.
So I was on antibiotics for 3.5 years, and I was ready to not take the antibiotics. And that was 2.5 years ago. At that time, I was pretty much bedridden. I was working some. I do work for a nonprofit, and I was working with them then. And so sometimes it would be easier for me to be getting out of bed, but I had no energy at all. And this lozenge that was specifically for parasites has papaya and tangerine, cinnamon bark, some really great, and papaya is really awesome for, as the specialist here can talk more on that. But so when I first found it 2.5 years ago, I was taking, because it's a lozenge, you just suck on it. And so I was taking a lot of them and immediately noticed baby steps moving forward, having more energy, and my body detoxing and eliminating a lot of the parasites and things that aren't so fun. But that was wonderful. And then it got to a point where I was like, oh, I don't need to take it anymore. So I stopped, and then I began to start noticing a little bit of the symptoms that I was having from Lyme. And I was like, oh, okay. I probably need to be take one at least at bedtime, because it does have some chamomile and kind of makes me sleepy. And since then, and that's been now, that happened probably 4 or 5 months ago, and I haven't had any symptoms. So just taking just a tiny bit, one of the lozenges every day, whereas when I first got them, my body would actually crave that. I couldn't eat. It wouldn't matter if something was clean or not. I had massive indigestion, and I had irritable bowel syndrome as well. So, and mine swung both directions. So traveling was, I'd stress out about traveling just because I'd want to know where the bathroom was. And I don't have that issue anymore. And no anxiety around it either, and can actually read when I'm in the car, which that never happened prior. And I think actually motion sickness is in the gut.
Ooh, that's very interesting. I've actually had motion sickness severely my whole life, so I'll be curious to know about that. But I think it's really because I was married to a kind of a renowned scuba diver, and we dive all over the world. And I think my eustachian tube got a good workout, and it's always thrown my balance off. But I do have a question. You're talking about these lozenges, which is this food technology. You mentioned papaya, and you mentioned cinnamon, you mentioned tangerine. Those are all excellent, and I can go into all the reasons why, and I can see why that is. The question is there more in these technologies besides the foods? Or is it the combination of foods that's creating? I'm sure it's proprietary, but I'm just trying to get a sense for the audience who are hearing like, wow, something really made a shift in your health and wellness with these lozenges. And I know they help with hair and energy and digestion. These lozenges help with a million different things, but hair growth, hair shine. That's what you told me the other day. But I'm curious to know a little bit more, and the audience would probably want to know that too.
They all have, that's a great point, and they all have negative ions in them.
Okay. So can you explain what negative ions are for those who don't know, or do you need, yeah.
I can do a brief version. So I never really understood negative ions until we came up, until this product came to us 2.5 years ago. But it's that earthing and grounding, and gosh, during the pandemic and the past couple years, none of us traveled. So we were all kind of told to stay inside and not get the vitamin D and the energy and the stuff that we got from the earth. But you're more than welcome to jump into and explain it from a whole.
I just, because negative ions are really, here, I'll put it succinctly, like simply. Positive ions are molecules that have lost one or more electrons. Like, that's very chemistry sounding, but negative ions are really what are found in nature, especially around waterfalls, oceans, beaches, mountains, forest. So I think in Costa Rica, we're going to have a lot of negative ions, but what they say is that negative ions are actually oxygen atoms with extra negatively charged electrons. And you don't need to know, I know I'm sounding so nerdy right now. You don't need to know that part. What you need to know is that they are actually oxygen atoms. Our body is becoming oxygenated, creating life in the body. Would that be a good way of saying it?
Perfect. The second thing that makes the lozenges unique is it's the DNA from the plant. So some people say, well, I have a food sensitivity to pitted fruit, olives, peaches, apricots, or I'm allergic to cayenne pepper, and so this is the DNA. So it's actually the liquid that's extracted, dried, and then formulated into the lozenger. And we have tons of science. If you want to know that, I'd be happy to send you a video about it.
Send it to me, because I'm a little science nerdy. I
Okay.
know no one realizes it, but I really am a bit nerdy on the science. I love it. I love to know how things work on all levels.
And 8 of our 15 drops also have white papers that have been written in medical journals. And I'll send you that as well. And then
Well, people hear me talk about Happy DNA Candy every week because you advertise and you support. You make possible the Nourish Your Soul show, one of a few. And so when people ask me what Happy DNA Candy is, I always say, well, you got to speak to Linda McBee because she's had some very profound life changes. And I am in one of your groups, and people are sharing their stories, all sorts of stories, including pets. But so, anyways, for me to hear when you tell me, and I'm hearing a little distortion, so I don't know if you have to turn the volume down just a smidge, but that you have a food technology, and the foods that I know that are in our deck that are in people's, hopefully refrigerators, are creating life sustaining changes. Of course, it gets my interest, and it's very aligned. And now that you've taken intuitive food therapy level 1, are you seeing some aha moments between the words, the healing wisdom words that Joanne and I brought into the books, and how they're relating to your products?
absolutely. And it makes me so excited, which is why I wanted to take the second course sooner than later. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I have to know more. It's incredible to see how it just is so synergistic together.
So when you are working with people, and I thought it was interesting, you ask them, tell me if this is correct, you ask them, what foods are you craving? And I do that all the time too, but I do it from a different perspective. But you do it from what your perspective is. What are you craving? Because that might tell you where an imbalance is, and that because you associate which fruits and vegetables to which of your line of food technology products. I mean, I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm just surmising.
So when we first started, so our company, APO Go, is an 11-year-old company, and can be shipped to about 70 countries around the world. Just came to the United States in July of 2020. I immediately jumped on board as a brand ambassador. And so when we first started, we were like, okay, how do we ask people, what are your health issues? Because all we were getting was crickets. People would just clam up. So what we did is we started, there's 3 tiers of pricing of our products. And so we took the first tier, that's 8 products, and put the fruit that was associated to that fruit, to that product. And then I started an experiment. And I would just say, can I ask you a question? I'm doing a poll. What fruits do you, out of these 6, which do you crave? And then I would say, can I ask you a question? Do you struggle with this that has to do with that fruit that they were craving that they chose? And 7 out of 10 times when they were honest, and if they weren't, then they were like, well, it was, yeah, just because they didn't want to. And
Well,
that,
can we ask the group here if there's
sure.
anyone who's willing to say what foods they crave? Is it just fruits or vegetables,
Let me,
or is it just fruits?
of course, I had that screen up, and then
I had you cut all the screens. And hi Cheryl, and hi Patty, hi Tony, Denise. I am so excited because I've had these products, and I've used many of them, and there's so many different ones. And what I want to do is isolate and have nothing else, so that I know I could track this is related to this. But now, since you've gotten very involved in our world, I want to get involved with yours. And I'm just curious to know what somebody's craving, and if you're able. Did you find the screen?
I did.
Well, can I just ask you? Is there one, and then we can ask the audience, because I'd love to know if somebody's craving. But is there a specific one for eyes, or or that falls into something?
So we don't
Eye health.
we don't necessarily do health, but we have there is one that is for eyes. It's under immunity and mood, and that's great. So
Grape. Did you say that's great or that's great?
grape.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you if it was blueberry or carrots, but grape. Okay.
So lemon, grape, pineapple, apple, apricot, banana, pears, and cherries.
Banana.
So do you struggle with sleeping and have some anxiety?
Yes.
So that's our one for anxiety, and that's the one that the last couple days, because I had a pretty stressful weekend, I've probably taken a dozen and a half. You can't overdose on them, because when you put them in your mouth, they literally dissolve. And that is the only one that I say to folks, don't drive when you're taking it the first time.
Do you remember what banana is in the Food Healing Oracle deck?
I have to say I don't yet. No, I don't have them all
didn't
quite
mean to
memorized.
put you on the spot. That's okay. So banana is our spontaneity card. And it's so interesting because when I'm hearing you say, like, do I not sleep? No, I don't sleep. That's why I'm up, and people are getting emails in the middle of the night. Not that they have to answer. It's because it's the only time where things are quiet. Or it's because I can't sleep. So I might as well get some work done. But spontaneity is very interesting because I think you can be more spontaneous when you have more, like when you've been rested, like you can tune into, like, yeah, that's for me. I'm going to check that out. So that's interesting. But so Cheryl, okay, is strawberries on your list?
Strawberries are in a couple of them. I will answer that, but I do want to say that I take Relax at night because I could never shut my brain down.
And what's in Relax? What foods?
A banana one.
So interesting. I need Relax.
I'm gonna have to send you some banana.
Literally, I put banana in my smoothie this morning. It's funny. I came home yesterday. I know Tony would laugh. I had a whole platter of fruit, and it was like blueberries, strawberries, cantaloupe. It had a bunch of things. And I woke up this morning and I looked at it. I'm like, nope, I need the banana. And I didn't get a good night's sleep, and I'm tired from the weekend. So I'm already interested. And okay, so can we move on to anyone else who wants to throw down with you? This is kind of cool. This is almost fun. Like a reading.
Right, exactly. And so this opened up a whole different level of a conversation. And I don't know. Oh, I didn't even open up the comments along the
There's
side.
A comment section. Well, yeah. See if there's something for Cheryl. Cheryl's saying strawberry, but can you read out loud for everyone who's here the list of the fruits again, to see if any of those are popping out for someone? If you do hear this on this list, put it in, and then let's have her ask you a question.
So strawberry.
Yeah, Cheryl's saying strawberry.
So this is the first tier, meaning some that are not quite as expensive and don't have quite as many of ingredients. But the one that does have strawberry in it is also the one for inflammation, pain. So does that resonate with her?
Okay, well, Cheryl, does that resonate with you? That's cool. So let's see if she's still here. I mean, I don't know who's here or not here. So okay, so she'll answer that if she's here, and then why don't you read the rest of the fruits? Is it just fruits?
For this, it is just fruits.
Okay, wait just a second. Cheryl is saying OMG, and you asked her about inflammation in strawberries, which I can go on and on about strawberries other benefits. I mean, what does strawberries do? Yes, the punacolgan, the phytochemicals are antioxidants, but they do help with inflammation. So this is so cool. So what are the other fruits or what are the other ingredients in the inflammation one?
Oh, I don't have
You don't
that.
have to. Yeah.
I didn't bring that list here because
Okay, don't worry. All right, read me the other fruits. This is fun. This is like a game, but like for our health. Go
yeah,
ahead.
and this is exactly what we were started to do in Messenger, and it was super fun. We do a 45-minute party that was all on Messenger and list out the fruits. Lemon,
Lemon. Anyone have lemon? Okay. Go. Keep
grape,
going. Late. Okay, grape.
pineapple,
Pineapple. Anybody on those? Is there more?
apple,
Apple.
apricot,
Okay.
banana,
Yep.
pear,
What's the last one?
cherry,
I didn't hear the last two.
pear,
Pear.
cherry.
Cherry. Okay, what about pineapple? Anyone have any of those fruits? Tell me about pineapple.
Pineapple is, well, first of all, it's an anti-cancer, and it's for stamina, metabolism. It's kind of that 3 o'clock coffee in the afternoon, but past that, it keeps me up at night. I have to watch a couple of them. You can take any of them any time of day or night, but that one, yeah, see, I should have my brochure that has the 17, well, 15 here in the United States that go through all of the ingredients. We'll have to.
We'll do a part two of this. Well, so what do I love? So what pineapple? Pineapple's our expansion card. Of course, I don't have them all right here, but pineapple's our expansion card, and pineapple is a digestive enzyme. Oh, you have yours. Well, here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just actually pull it right up here off my app because we have such a great app. I might as well show it off as we get ready to do the next one. But it's very interesting. So pineapple is your primary. This is our pineapple card. There you go.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of what you just shared is the digestive enzymes in there. You know, when you start to break down things that are blocked and stagnation, you're moving chi and moving energy in the body, and you get things going. And yeah, you actually expand your energetic field, and that also is solar plexus. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm just loving it. So no one really commented on this. What's that?
Sorry. Now maybe you'll understand as I began to learn more about our product and all of the different benefits. All of a sudden, one day the light bulb went off. And that's when I followed up with you to say, holy smokes, let's follow up with this.
Yeah.
I need to take the course, and went from there.
Now I get it. Now I get you even more. Is there anyone else who would like to put one of those fruit? So there were fruits. Are there vegetables?
No. There are some thunderstorms here. We have to watch replay.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a storm pass through. Denise, if you are here, are you here now? Let me just ask you that, Denise. Because if you are, we're going to run through this list of fruits and see if I've been craving banana, but I never have trouble sleeping, says Cheryl. And then Denise, if you're here, let me know because we want to run through these fruits with you again.
So Cheryl, do you struggle with anxiety or can't shut your brain off? And Denise has a question. She has her hand up. It's so cute.
And Lisa's saying blueberries.
So
let's see if Cheryl answers that. Can't shut your brain off, a little bit of anxiety. She says no.
Okay.
And
I don't, of course, I have the sheet right on the other side of this computer. Can I go grab it?
Yes, you can go grab it. God, that makes me very excited. So now Lisa is blueberries. So blueberries is our clarity card. I don't know if she mentioned blueberries. Did you mention blueberries?
So we have 15 different products that are in the United States and 17 in Canada. And the two in Canada is one is a hemp seed product that
Do you mind going over the list again? We're going to do it one more time so then we can make sure the foods that people are stating, see if any of them pop out that are on the list. I don't think I heard you say blueberries. Okay.
So what we did, there's sometimes anywhere from 7 to 15 products in each one. We just pulled one out
Okay.
randomly. And now moving forward after studying this, I might have to tweak a couple of those.
Yeah. Going next level.
Absolutely. So
You're becoming an intuitive food therapist. Got to bring it. All right. Well, why don't you give me the brief list because we only have a little bit of time. So I just want to see. I'd love to do what you did with me and Banana with some of the other folks who are here. So if you don't mind reading the list again, Denise wanted to hear it.
Lemon, grape, pineapple, apple, apricot, banana, pear, cherry, or just throw one out. We'll see if it might be in one of the others.
Blueberries. Lisa wanted to know about blueberries.
And of course, these aren't in alphabetical order. So I have one for raspberries, but not blueberries, I'm seeing.
Tell me about cherries. Of course, we all want to know about cherries. That's a big one for this group. Where are the cherries?
So cherries, that's a product for pain. And that has ashwagandha, turmeric, grapple plant, ginger, licorice, cherry, raspberry, and cayenne pepper.
Wow, that's a really nice ensemble. If I wasn't so tired, I would interpret like 90% of that through the food healing oracle.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Cherry, I'm surprised because cherry's for sleeping. It's just got high levels of melatonin. I actually drink pure. There's a particular one that I do that actually is it's a drink. Howard and I do it. It's cherry and I think resveratrol from grapes. It's cherry and grape, and we use that at night. Very interesting. So Lisa is saying I eat raspberries every day. Cherries are awesome too.
I'd like to run through, if I can, the other ingredients that are in the RLX that has the banana to see if there's some others that might resonate for Cheryl. I think it was craving banana.
Yeah, and me for sure. Do it. That'd be great.
Chamomile, Siberian ginseng,
Life force,
passion fruit,
romance,
ashwagandha, banana, and lettuce.
Lettuce. Wow.
So in about a half hour, we have a functional medicine doctor who does a monthly review on each one of our products. And tonight she's doing it on BTY that has strawberries in it. But that's literally what made my hair shiny and not so coarse as for gray hair. Grow and the GTS, the one grape and pineapple, is what helped it to grow. And when I had Lyme disease, my hair stopped growing and falling out. So in the last 2 years, it's grown probably over a foot, maybe even like 16 inches. So I keep going and getting it cut. But all
right, so you're going to have to let us know about that one because I definitely know people who've had hair loss from COVID and hormone therapies and all sorts of reasons, stress. So I'm sure people like to know about that. Well, just to wrap up, Linda, how do people learn about this technology and anything else you wanted to offer about that?
So there's a website, and the website is Happy DNA Candy. I didn't even think to put that on my link .com. There is a
Okay.
landing page that just comes to me, but it gives you about a 4-minute video, a little bit about the technology and the company. And then that email comes to me, and anyone who fills that out, let's follow up, and I'll send you some candies. Here in the United States, we call them healthy candies. There is no sugar. It's beetroot and molasses. That's another whole conversation. But just to clarify, so that people don't go, oh, no, I don't eat candy. No, I don't
Yeah.
either.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, great. All right. Well, does anybody have any questions for Linda? Thank you, Linda. Oh my God. I'm so like so much coconut. There's so much we can be playing in these sandboxes together, which I know we are already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
that'll
did you
encourage.
have a good experience taking level 1 IFT, intuitive food therapy? Because uh, we had a ton of people this weekend very interested in it. So if any of them are watching, um, it was what you bargained for.
Way more, way more. It just began to open my eyes and go, oh my gosh, it's one of the additional piece of the puzzle about food, and
Hmm.
how do we heal ourselves with all natural food, and that foods that we're craving are probably what our body's needing if we just pay attention. And you've got to give a shout out to Costa Rica, because I can't wait to play in the sandbox and let people taste them. And
Let's do that. Let's do that now, and then we can call it a night. So, for those of you who don't know, we have been posting it, but we are planning finally our first annual retreat that's going to happen. We got sidewise and saddled back and all that, shelved by COVID the last couple of years. But in that time, it gave me time to search and scour and really find the most ideal location in the world that would absolutely come into alignment with our community and our teachings and our vibration and our healing modalities and everything. And so we did. We found it. It's in Costa Rica. It's in a very luxurious location in the rainforest overlooking the ocean. And it is a 6-day, 5-night incredible retreat where we are 14 of us. There's only so many spots are coming together to really experience how to nourish your soul through healings, through readings, through food, 5-star plant-based food, through medicinal tours of herb gardens that are grown in the rainforest, cooking classes, to spending time with Linda and learning about, you might see something delicious in your goodie welcome bags, to waterfalls and muds and cacao ceremonies and beaches and, oh my God, dance and yoga and an incredible, unbelievable trip of a lifetime. So it's happening. It's the train is on the track. If you want to learn more, I put the link at the top of the thread there. We have a Nourish Your Soul retreat, Costa Rica Facebook page. And it every day gets better, and I learn. And I'll be there next week, actually experiencing, walking through the different rooms and the rivers and all the experiences, so I could firsthand tell you, oh my God, next February 15th through 20th is going to be this and then some. Get to taste the food and really just kind of plan the retreat and pick the paces. And it's interesting. We haven't even planned all the activities, even though we know what they all are. And we already have half, if not a little bit more filled up. So Linda's going. Bring some DNA candy, lozenge. I like how you said that, by the way. Lozenge? How did you say it?
lozenges? I don't know.
Lozenge. It was like you had an accent for a minute with the lozenge.
Well, I had some dental work today, so STP I've kind of lived on today for the pain, and the Novocaine still a little bit. So that might have been certain ways I was moving my mouth was a little painful.
Does the STP mean stop? Is that to stop
Yeah,
pain?
yeah.
Okay, cool. I like all the little codings. Anyways, so we will be there along with 12 other beauties. And if you want to know more, please see me right away because there are literally just a few spots left and we want you to be one of those. So join us. It's going to be extraordinary. And Linda, thank you for being here. And then did anyone else have any questions? Because otherwise, I think we're good.
Well, this was fun. There's so many different ways that we could go with this, but I knew that when we started talking about the foods that that could be a right up your alley and just wide open fun. So
Yes. Well, Linda, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of our cherries. And thank you for all. I guess some of you who are taking level 2, April 14th and 15th, will be seeing Linda. No, actually, June 2nd and 3rd. My apologies. We sold out in February. But we will see. There's still a lot of moving chairs going on between those 2 dates. So we have level 2, 3 dates actually, 14 and 15, June 2nd and 3rd, and July 21st and 22nd. For those of you who have asked to do another level 1, I am looking at doing that. I don't have the dates, but I'm sometime in the later part of June. In case you do want to do it and go back to back, you could take level 2 in July. So if you are one of those who are interested, please join us and just send me a little note. hello@foodhealingdeck.com. Your interest to be in the level 1. And that I'll have more details on that soon. We're just developing it now. We need a certain amount of people to join for it to make sense to do. A lot more classes coming up, including Dr. Cheryl Friedman and me doing. We have moved that. The official new date for our Theta Healing class, which I highly recommend, and the Food Healing Oracle deck is now Saturday, May 6th. It originally was on the 25th of March. Linda, thank you. Thank you for all who are here. Thank you for all who watch this later. I know a good majority of you catch this on the replay.
And I was just going to say the same thing. Thanks to the community who made this even more fun and interactive and be willing to play along.
Yeah, awesome. Blessings, everyone. Take care. I will have to announce, I don't even know, I won't be in town next week. So there either going to be no show or I have a feeling somebody in our group, maybe Denise or whoever, but we will see. Someone will be hosting the show next week, I'm sure. All right. Much love to all. Take care. Bye.